And a lot of people just don't understand that freedom is not free. They think it's just given. It's not. It is not.
Actually, I don't think there's anything like it in our community. The time span that we'll cover is an awesome 240 years, from 1775 up to date. And basically, it's designed to provide education for not only, and honor veterans, of course, but for not only the veterans, but also their children and children of the community, so that they will remember the sacrifices of the people and what they were made for.
It is a beautiful place for tourists and also veterans to come at the present time, of where they can reflect and do some processing in relationship to the grief process, and also the families can come and be a part of that process.
A war memorial of the type that's being built here, I think, adds to the honor that the veterans have gotten from the community.
Well, the importance of it is the fact that we are honoring those that never did make it back home.
Well, at a memorial like this, people don't realize you're not only honoring the person that gave his life for his country, you're honoring the family.
It also brings families together, and families begin to understand what my grandfather, my father, my son, my daughter, the issues that they faced while they were deployed.
Well, families, of course, know better, that have lost someone, know better than anyone the pain and the sorrow that they've experienced.
And then that gives them a better understanding and acceptance of the issues that our veterans face.
Well, I think it just reinforces a point I've made a number of times, that veterans aren't looking for anything special, but what they do really appreciate is being remembered.
The VVA, Vietnam Veterans of America, we have a saying that never again will one generation of veterans abandon another.
During World War II, when the war was over, our veterans were sent back on ships. At that time, they had an opportunity to meet in groups and share stories and share what happened to them. They really and literally debriefed themselves.
I just served in Iraq, but I know when I came back from my tour, I talked to Vietnam vets and World War II vets. Now there's a special bond, there's a special something there. So now we kind of understand each other.
Going to the memorial and being with other veterans, yes. You know, it's very natural to talk about the things you did while you were in the service.
At the Texas Panhandle War Memorial, our veterans do come together. They are given an opportunity to talk with each other, just like our soldiers from World War II.
And our youth need things like the War Memorial that will connect to them in ways that they understand and can make the lives of our service people become alive to them, that they'd understand and make a connection, not just but through knowledge, but through an emotional connection also, that they would understand and carry on the legacy that's been laid before them.
And I'm hoping that we can educate those kids, regardless of what age, all the way up to high school or even college, to take more interest in the history of this great country of ours.
World War II, of course, they always say it's the war of all wars, in which it is. In fact, it was, because we were on both sides of the world. And but the others are not any less, because you have the same men and women that are in there for the same purpose, to make sure that America stays free. And the Education Center itself, it's just going to be awesome.
You know, so many people, young people, they have no clue about what World War II was even about or what happened. Nothing about it. And even Vietnam.
I just don't want any generation to go without that knowledge of what war really means. And war is ugly, but there are times when it's required of us to stand up for the defense of our country, or for the principles that we espouse in this country.
I believe it was Aristotle who said that the fate of empires depends upon the education of the youth.
Many times, you know, we feel that maybe history's being lost.
I think that'll be huge as far as teaching the students, you know, actually what has made our country the way it is and why it's so important.
You know, the great Santana is often quoted as saying those who do not remember history are doomed to repeat it.
War Memorial Education Center will give us an opportunity to bring students into a location that will take them out of the classroom, but give them, just immerse them in a situation where they can see what has gone on before them to what has built this country.
And you know, history repeats itself, and we want good history to go forward.
It's our history. It's our history. It's critical we understand our history. So we move forward, we don't make the same mistakes that we have in the past, and we understand what has been given to create our history.
They'll be able to understand the cost of freedom and the price that's been paid for decades and centuries and generations.
They say freedom isn't free. It isn't.